We are here with Burnley manager Vincent Kompany, and we have teamed up with EA Sports FC to set you a challenge today. You feeling good about this? You ready?
Yeah, ready, I'm not sure, but I'm feeling good about it.
You're going to be building your 7-a-side team from a select group of ultimate team items. This will be a mix of players you face in your playing days as well as past teammates. These players are either icons, heroes, or have the gold card on FC24. So some of these players you've come up against now in your capacity as manager, is that difficult for you when you come up against friends and former teammates in a different capacity?
Yeah, it's difficult, but you know, at the same time, it's like if you play against your brother sometimes, you know, you want to win even more. And so I've had some really good challenges and battles in my career, and I've enjoyed every single one of them.
Joe Hart, Thibaut Courtois or Edison. So 3 different styles of goalkeeper. It's already difficult. If you think this is hard, we're going to get progressively harder as we go on. 2 former Man City colleagues in there, and of course your Belgian teammate as well. They're 3 quite different styles of goalkeeper. What were they like to play with, first of all?
Joe was a leader. You know, he didn't start out that way, but definitely the last 3 or 4 years I played with him, he was a big character for the dressing room. Courtois, probably the best shot stopper I've ever seen on a football pitch. And Edison is just the complete package. So it's really, really difficult, but in the ancient tradition of goalkeeping, I'm going to go for Courtois, just because he did things as a goalkeeper that I don't think many, especially with his size and his agility and the ability for him to get to the floor quick, but at the same time read the game. Edison's definitely better on the ball, but I have to pick Courtois. He's special.
Courtois, just that shot-stopping ability that sets him apart for him to go in your team.
Yeah, he has a quality and understanding of the game that is exceptional. Edison is unbelievable as well, and I had some incredible memories with Joe, but I have to make a choice, right?
Kyle Walker,
yeah.
John Stones, Jan Vertonghen, Virgil van Dijk, Rio Ferdinand, and yourself. We've got to include you on there, haven't we? So what's your strategy going to be? How many defenders do you want in your 7-a-side team?
I mean, with these guys, one will do.
Just one?
Any of them.
You're going to go all out attack?
But it depends, because I haven't seen the back of the list, so I might want to keep a few spots open for attacking profiles. But if I have to pick, if I have to pick myself, then next to me, I'd have to play with Virgil.
Virgil?
Yeah, I think would have been a good pairing.
Why Virgil?
The older version of Virgil now, I couldn't play with him because I'd have to do all the running. But the younger version of him, you know, when he could have done the running for me, you know.
I don't think he'll like that he's stopped running.
I've got age. So I'm older than him, so I get to say that. But no, it's like. You know, his understanding of the game, and obviously he's able to back it up with the execution as well. But his understanding of the game, his leadership, his you know, his all-round profile as a defender, I really think it's very rare, you know, to have very little weaknesses, you know, very few weaknesses, and all the other guys you've named are exceptional, but. If I have to say who I would have, because I've played with some of these guys, if I would have said who I would have liked to play with, I would have liked to play with Virgil. But having said that, maybe I would have been most compatible with. No, actually, I was fairly all-round myself, so I was actually quite compatible with your slower defenders, more experienced. I were like your dual-winning defenders, and I was fairly compatible as well with, you know, runners, and so I could do both sides of the game if needed.
So you put yourself in there?
Yeah, that's what you said.
You don't have to put yourself in there, but you absolutely should, yeah.
I've done a whole explanation now, I can't back out.
Yeah, it's great, I love it, no, it's great. So there's obviously some defenders in here.
We've got 4 players left now.
Well, no, oh yeah.
Because
You're making me do quick maths, aren't you? You've got 4 players left. We'll get onto that, don't worry. Talk to me about Kyle Walker quickly, because I know a lot of people discuss, particularly English right-backs, and who is the best, and the debate goes on about that. But what was Kyle Walker like as a player?
Yeah, he's exceptional. He's, and again, he's a player that I've seen also evolve over the years. So, you know, he started, and speed and aggressiveness that were his tools. But you know, usually really fast defenders, you catch them out because there's a lapse of concentration, or because they just back their own speed and they don't do the defending as actively maybe as they should. But then I saw him literally add that to his game as I was playing with him, and he became, nearly impossible to beat.
Yeah, and he's probably one that won't lose that pace. You could play with him for years, and even as he gets older, his pace is still 100%, isn't it?
Yeah, he's still got, he could be 45 and he'll still be quicker than a lot of players that are playing today.
Yaya Toure,
Yeah.
Kevin De Bruyne, Steven Gerrard, Frank Lampard and Patrick Vieira. You've got 4 ex-Man City teammates in there.
Yeah, you can see the problem.
Tell me what it was like to play with some of these. De Bruyne is obviously the one still playing now.
I've always said it about him, when he's in a team that's got a plan, you just leave him at the, you know, it's like you let him control. You know, he's able to kind of almost picture everything he's about to do earlier than anyone I've ever played with. So yeah, he's exceptional. A lot of the skills he has are hidden, I think, as well, because it's the detail of his pass, it's the precision of his thinking, and again the execution of it. And because of all this, he's going to be a Premier League legend. You know, he's going to be a player that will be remembered for, you know, by many generations.
So is he going in your team, or who else are you going for?
No, I'm going with Kev.
You're going with Kev?
Yeah.
Just one of them, or are you going to put another one in as well? So you've got Toure, Gerrard, Lampard and Vieira. I think you've got space for another midfielder.
Yeah, but I know what's coming in the next line. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pass, and I'm going to leave it at just one midfielder.
So we've got Carlos Tevez,
Here we go.
Romelu Lukaku, Lionel Messi, Ronaldo, Mario Balotelli, Wayne Rooney and Peter Crouch. The former Burnley players in there as well. So it's a pretty strong list. So you've got Tevez,
Yeah.
Lukaku,
Yeah.
Messi, Ronaldo, Balotelli,
Yeah.
Rooney and Crouch.
So you've not put Hazard, you've not put Aguero.
They're not all in there.
We've got a problem then. I was keeping it back because I was sure I was going to have to choose between Hazard, Aguero. You not put David Silva in there.
But there's still some pretty good players in there to pick from.
So look, Messi and Ronaldo, right? We'll start with those two, and then I want one more spot.
So we'll start with Messi actually then. What was he like, and did you have to really prepare and think differently when you knew you were coming up against him?
Well, I definitely know the manager did, because a lot of the team talk was about how to play against Messi, of course. But the truth is, you can't really solve that problem on your own. And even then, you need the team to be in an incredible form to do something. But most of the time, especially Messi was playing quite far away from where I was, because it used to go on the wings, then it used to go in the pockets, and it used to be in midfield at times. So he would dictate play from so many different positions, and then they'd always have another striker, or they'd always have another, you know. So I've kind of seen the team suffer against him, but on very few occasions did I actually have to, you know, be one-on-one with him, you know.
So what would the manager say?
No, I remember Pellegrini making a very good observation, which was everything goes through Messi.
Okay, let's go on then to Ronaldo. What was he like to come up against?
So again, I played against different versions of Ronaldo. You have the striker and the winger. When he was a winger, he just had everything, you know. 1v1, the speed, the intelligence, and as well, you know, he just kept scoring. At that time, I felt like he was more scoring like these world goals, these wonder goals. And then he just became hungry for more goals, and he became a killer. And then he was almost like playing against like an elite number 9, you know, where you give him a little bit of space in any situation, he will score. And with him again, it's the biggest part that people underestimate. People will look at on the internet and they will look at the tricks that those players are doing or the skills, but the difficulty is not necessarily the skills they do. The difficulty is the speed at which they can create space for themselves, and then the precision of their actions then. So they want to shoot, they want to put a final ball. It's really difficult to stop because of that initial first step bang, first step cross, first step shot. That's they can do it to such a pace that it's you can't even align your feet quickly enough to get a block in, and for defenders who are even thinking forward and who are like expecting this to happen, even then it's still difficult. Not impossible, but sometimes impossible.
So Messi and Ronaldo, the two going into your team for the reasons you've spoken about?
Yeah, I have to, yeah.
Should we do a quick recap then, and we'll see where you've found a space. So your goalkeeper, you went with Courtois. In defence, you've got you alongside Virgil van Dijk. Midfielder at the moment, you've just got De Bruyne. And then up front, you've got Messi and Ronaldo. Not a bad team, is it, so far?
No, it's good.
You've still got a spot though. So where do you feel like you need a little bit more?
No, I'm not going to go too tactical on this. So you mentioned a list of forwards. I think there's still Carlos Tevez in there.
Tevez is still in there.
I'll go with Tevez.
All out attack.
All out attack. 2 decent centre backs to still do a bit of a job, and a goalkeeper. But I go with Carlos because just as a single player, the impact is so. Whenever all these other players you mentioned were good, they always had a lot of very good players around them. But when Carlos came to City in his first year, we had good players, but the team wasn't to his level. And still he was able to single-handedly bring us success, you know, in terms of winning games. And, you know, we knew we have Carlos, he's going to do something on his own, you know, and whether it was recover the ball on his own and go and score a goal, or whether it was make something happen out of nothing, and a lot of that fire that he had on the pitch, it would catch on for a lot of other players. So yeah, he had such an impact, and he was talented in everything, you know. I think, I don't know, I hope he gets mentioned amongst the great players more often, because he was.
Right then, pretty solid team. We've got Courtois, you, Virgil van Dijk, De Bruyne, Tevez, Messi, Ronaldo. I'm going to give you an option to pick a super sub, so you can pick one more player out of any part of the list you'd have on your bench. You can come on and make an impact.
And I want to mention that you haven't allowed me to put Hazard in the team, you haven't allowed me to put David Silva in the team. But then as a super sub, I will have Steven Gerrard.
Steven Gerrard?
Yeah, which should never ever be a sub, but it is what it is.
Okay, are you happy then with the side that you picked?
Yeah.
Feel like you're going to get any phone calls after this saying, why have you not put me in the team?
No, I think we'd be all right. Yeah, but you know, it is what it is.
Pretty exceptional. Okay, well, let us know what you think of Vincent's team in the comments below. That was Vincent Kompany's 7-a-side team with EA Sports FC.